helps everyone. So we are having a special session, an extra session of Art with Liz today because we lost a session back in February, and we are doing a makeup class for African American History Month. So I want to first of all start out by thanking the Hoboken Public Library for allowing us to have these hybrid classes where the creative community can do visual art here at the Hoboken Library as well as in the comfort of their own home studio. Today, for African American History Month, we will be looking at the artwork of a man named Kevin Claiborne. As always, I'm going to launch the class with a short video of images of Mr. Claiborne's work. I'm going to talk briefly about Mr. Claiborne and his work. People here and at home, you are invited to either shout out, or if you're at home, text messages in the chat box, thoughts, ideas, or comments about his work while we look at the slideshow. All right, ready to begin? I hope so. Oh, I thought the video was up and running, not yet. Let me make sure we have it available. Here we go. Kevin Claiborne. So, Mr. Claiborne is a multidisciplinary conceptual artist whose work examines intersections of identity, social environment, and mental health within the Black American experience. And I should backtrack a bit. This is taken from his website. I don't know if he wrote these words, but he published them, so I'm assuming they're accurate. And moving between collage, silkscreen, photography, painting, and sculpture, while frequently using language as material, Claiborne is interested in finding new ways to look at history and its connection to the present. He holds a Bachelor of Science degree in mathematics from the historically Black college, North Carolina Central University, that he received in 2012, a Master of Science in Higher Education from Syracuse University that he achieved in 2016, and a Master of Fine Arts in Visual Arts from Columbia University that he achieved in 2021. Claiborne is currently living and working in Harlem, New York City. He works primarily on portraiture. His portraits, and this is a direct quote from his artist statement, currently my work focuses primarily on intergenerational trauma and memory, mental health within the Black experience, and psychological burdens related to or around identity development. I am interested in using history to find new ways of looking at and understanding the present, starting with the gaps in my own family history and the space between. And this is an internal quote, what I know versus what I should know, end quote. The missing information between where my ancestors come from and where I am today. I am digging and mining the sediment of histories passed down, erased, and avoided. And this is from another article. It states that through material experimentation, conceptual artist Kevin Claiborne curiously reviews and revises his family photographic archives to clarify his existential queries about life, history, memory, and intimacy. His images are chosen intuitively from boxes of salvaged photographs gifted by his mother. He is drawn to subtle, intimate details, the gentle smile of his father observing his son, a plastic-covered couch in his grandmother's home, a rare portrait of his grandfather at a family gathering, or a moment of celebration at his parents' wedding. So he's trying to capture those fleeting memories of family history. And don't we all, right? You look at a family photograph that you're drawn to for whatever reason, and you're trying to remember what was going on at this event. Who was fighting with whom? Who was loving whom? Who was on whose good side? Who was mommy's favorite? Who was mommy's not so favorite? Those kinds of memories. And he's trying to capture that in his art. I find this image particularly beautiful. Evocative is a good word for me. Emotionally moving for some, I don't know why, some reason. So it's the unanswerable questions, the lapses between the events that precede a photographic exposure, and the resultant facsimile that inspire the chemical and print processes that Claiborne will employ to render a restorative record. So he's trying to restore those memories that he's either lost or distorted in some way over the years. So sometimes the images are in earth tones, like the first one that we saw. This one is more colorful. He works in series, sometimes monochrome palette, and then sometimes these with green and blue pigments. Sometimes he uses paint. Sometimes he uses the silkscreen process. And his latest works are with these collage and text overlays. He's trying to impart through acts of distortion with glitch, negative space, warp, and tint. He uses gestural mark making, which generates gradient landscapes that further enunciate the joy or trauma of his family members. He's trying to enable a heightened appraisal of recurring subjects, memory, aging, mental health, marriage, brotherhood, and divorce. So, key pivotal moments in family history. I think there's some Haitian heritage in his background. I'm not sure, but I may be making that up. So don't listen to that. But this one, I don't know, maybe because of the tropical plants in the background. I don't know. Yeah, but I don't know if that's true. So scratch that idea. I like this man's face. For me, it's quite sad. The gun, of course, is pretty powerful. A surface evaluation of his work may only perceive a collection of vintage photographic revisions about the artist's family members. A closer read will demonstrate the conceptual authority exhibited in the work. Claiborne's experiments successfully make meaning of speculative memories through gestural processes. Not sure what that means, but it sounds good. I like the colors in this piece. The lavender's completely unexpected, don't you think? But it works. Any comments, likes, dislikes, things you might do differently? Susan, you like it? Any reasons why? It is. It's you really want to know more about this person, right? He looks injured. There is something about his grandfather being, I think he was blind. If I find it, I'll let you know.
It's saturated colors seem such a contrast to
The first,
the expression. It
yes,
seems to look a bit sad and serious.
yeah. The face is so sad and serious, but the colors are so bright.
Yeah.
The background is kind of disjunctive. It's a conflict with the face somehow.
Mhm. And then that red cap sits on top of it.
Yeah.
It's like, well, what's its relationship to him? That's a really strong color there
Yes.
on set. It's almost like the way of his role or responsibility. You know, it's kind of like attitude. So then it makes me wonder, like, who would he be at a different time in history or a different place?
Who would he be at a different time in history or
Where he
place?
didn't end up with
Interesting.
a red cap and
The cap may be part of a uniform.
yeah,
I feel like the garment that he's wearing feels like a uniform to me. Let's keep going. So he's also influenced by African sculpture. And he says, I often use, this is from his artist statement, I often use image and text together using language as material, constructing and deconstructing sentences into new poems and formations, experimenting with legibility to change the ways in which images and text function, both together and individually. These are hard to see. I'm sorry. In my practice, I prefer to work in series, moving across mediums, focusing on several bodies of work at a time, shifting back and forth as my time and energy permits. I use found images from my family archive and personal library, reappropriated text in my own poetry, and incorporate mediums such as collage, photography, silkscreen, and painting. Conceptually, my work joins broader conversations about the reframing of history and the importance of narrative ownership as a means for survival. That black bar on the left seems to be piercing his chest. And there's a lot of anguish in this one. So the actual images tend to be obscured in his work, but sometimes the faces are covered up and blurred, but there are faces buried within the greenery here. I can see it better on my laptop screen, but buried within the weeds here, these are faces. And there's some kind of animal down here. This, I think, is a tail and a foot. And this may be a head here, but I'm not sure. And there's another animal head here. It's quite beautiful in the smaller screen. Marriage between races really bothers me. Chasing after any white girl are rather Black men, high levels of stress. A Black man is going to ruin B, is what this says. And there is an African sculpture in the central portion. So the figure starts at the top here and the So that's the last image that I have. Before I stop the share, any thoughts? This work is very deep, very personal. Yeah, and Esty, that's kind of you. You prefer work that's visually immediate, I think. No, I mean, that's who you are. That's fine. That's fine. Any other thoughts or comments?
Well, it's kind of interesting that he goes to this really almost primeval level. It's a sculpture. And now he's laying over the thoughts, the concepts, the English language in fragments over it. So to me, that's almost like a metaphor for, where he is. He's got this past that can't speak for itself.
Mm.
And then he's adding words to it to somehow bring it, I don't know, connected to this present reality.
Okay.
It's sort of complicated, but it feels like he's juggling a couple different things. And it's layers of stuff floating over the background image. So I imagine his mind is like that, lots of layers of thoughts and ideas. It's just going around.
Which is what he said his goal is. He's trying to bring together his ancestry with his present state of mind. So he did say that in his artist statement.
It does feel like extreme passion, but there's a definite themes going on.
Yes.
It's giving this ancestry of place by superimposing the words on the
Awesome comments. Thank you, everybody. Giving.
In a way, he is the voice of his ancestor. And it's where it came from. He's a living extension.
Super. Which is a great segue into our project for today. Thank you so much. So those of you who received my email For those of you who may be watching us on YouTube, I send out an email to participants of this class every week in which I give a kind of foretaste of what we're going to do in class. One of my suggestions was if you have family photos, bring them to this class, because my idea for today is to look at a family photo and try and remember the sense or feeling of what was going on in that photo and try to convey it visually in your work today. Another idea I have for today is that we can revisit our portrait making skills. So in that vein, I'm going to talk briefly about the proportions of the human face for those of you who may need a refresher in that or who have never looked at the proportions of the human face before. But I'm going to give everybody a choice. If you are veteran students of mine and you've looked at this a million times, I have put out for you. There's not a lot of materials to use today. I have really limited your choices. There are photographs from magazines and newspapers of faces, and there are pencils and paper. I invite you to either do a portrait from the pictures that I have brought in. There are also line drawing photocopies of different faces, black and white line drawings. You can copy the line drawings or the photographs to create a portrait that evokes some kind of feeling, or you can look on your smartphones, if you have one, and look for a family photo and try and do my original project idea of doing a portrait that evokes some kind of feeling from a family occasion. Those of you who want to watch the slideshow and get instruction or review on how to draw the human face, just stay seated, and I'm going to be happy to do that for you now on the big screen. When I finish with the review, I'll put an image on the screen that you can copy, as well as using the photographs at the back. Any questions? Maybe I should ask, is there anyone who wants the review? Or are you good to go? Vrinda, good. Okay, so we're going to do that slideshow. Let's either sit or go to work. Folks who may be watching on YouTube, I invite you to stay with us to watch the slideshow. The beauty of the human face is it's symmetrical. If you were to take a saw and cut it in half, and I'm going to demonstrate with my own face, cut it in half. It's the same on both sides. First of all, it's an oval. That's the most important thing to know about the human face. It's an oval. It's wider at the top, narrower at the bottom. Then, if you were to cut it in half, it's symmetrical. Pretty much, unless, of course, you've had a stroke or you've had an illness that has distorted or disfigured your face, or you've had an unfortunate birth defect. I shouldn't say unfortunate, or you've had a birth defect. The other thing to notice, and that's demarcated or denoted by the straight line down the middle of the face. The next thing to notice is where the eye level is on the face, and that's shown by this line here. There the eyes sit on the face. It's almost halfway down the oval. And that's the same for everyone. I have a rather long, thin face. My eyes sit proportionally in the same space, the same spot as on everyone's face. The next thing to notice is where the nose is. Those of you who don't want to watch the slideshow, you can just get to work. You can just get to work if you don't want to watch the slideshow, okay? Because I know I've talked about this quite a bit. The nose is halfway between the eyes and the chin. And you can make a very light guideline that shows where that falls on the face. And then the final, well, this diagram really doesn't show it, but the final thing to notice is where the mouth sits on the face. And that is halfway between bottom of the nose and the chin. So you can draw another horizontal guideline for where the mouth sits, halfway between the bottom of the nose and the chin. It's one way to start drawing the human face. The other cool thing to see is this. This is one of my favorite things about the human face. If you were to drop a straight line from the inner corner of the eye straight down, it hits the outer edge of the nose. See? That's true on every human face, no matter how wide or how narrow your nose is. Proportionally, this is always true. Drop a straight, dead straight line from the inner corner of the nose, the inner corner of the eye to the outer edge of the nose. They line up. The other thing, from the middle of the pupil straight down, you hit the outer corner of the mouth. Always true. No matter how wide the mouth, it fits proportionally within every human face. The things that change are the width of the chin, where the edge of the jaw starts happening, and things like that. The other kind of awesome measuring tool that you have is what I call the ear corridor. So on every human face, the bridge of the nose and the eye level and the bottom of the nose fit between the top and bottom of the ear. See that? So the eyebrow is at the top of the ear, almost, pretty much. And the bottom of the ear is at the bottom of the nose. So those are measuring tools that you can use to be accurate in the proportion of the human face. And the ancient Greeks had a mathematical formula for the perfect face. It's called the golden mean. Now, every face doesn't fit within that mathematical formula, but we all come close to fitting within the golden mean. Golden mean, M-E-A-N. It's a mathematical formula that the Greeks figured out. All right, so you can find this diagram on Google. If you Google proportions of the human face, you'll find that first picture I showed you and this one. So there are many, many diagrams of proportions of the human face that you can find when you Google. So the eyes are almost halfway down. People dispute this. Some people think it's 3/4 of the way up. In this diagram, it says it's halfway. You see? Half. This is hard to read. This is half. So the eye level, the middle of the eye, is halfway in the middle of the oval. And I'm just showing you different diagrams now to help you. The nose is halfway between the eye level and the mouth. The mouth is halfway between the bottom of the nose and the chin. It varies. I have kind of a long chin. And you can measure the width and the length of things by eye length. And my favorite diagram of all, I think, is the next and last. Yes. You can measure all the proportions of the human face by eye lengths. And just because it's your lucky day today, guys, I happen to bring some printouts of this particular diagram. So you may have one, those of you who are here today. Those of you who have this already, I'm going to ask that you not take it. And I know who you are. No, just kidding. If you want one of these, take it. It will help you today. Also, I have done this multiple times, but if you need me to do this for you again, I will. If you want me to draw a quick sketch of a human face once you get started, if you think it will help you, I'm happy to do that. I would prefer today, though, that you go right to work. My suggestion is you do a very light sketch first. Don't bear down heavily with the pencil. Start with a very faint sketch. Erasing is good. Don't think you have to make it perfect the first time around. And don't worry about shading and details until we're almost near the end of the class. Think about proportions and size of things first. All right? The human head is 5 eye lengths wide. The human nose from the bridge to the tip is 1 eye length. The width from the bridge from eye to eye across the top of the nose is 1 eye length. It goes on and on. It's just really amazing, the proportions of the human face. Nature knew what she was doing when she designed the human body. All right, so I'm going to stop talking now because I want you folks to have plenty of time to do what you have to do. I invite everyone to go get their materials. And while you're doing that, I'm going to put up a picture that you can share, or that you can look at to copy. I'm going to share it up on the screen. I'm not going to put up a Kevin Claiborne picture because the faces are difficult to look at. I'm going to look for something else. I have to go into my files for that. Human. Just portraits. What? Yes. Can you take the whole pile back with it, please? Sorry. There's so many beautiful faces in the world. How do I pick? Do we want Albert Einstein for our portrait to look at? He's so beautifully wrinkled. What ethnicity do we want today? How about, thinking about yesterday's class, how about we have a white male? Just because we're feeling underrepresented, maybe? No, it won't let me do that. I don't think it let me do that. It wrecked my slideshow. I tried to take a picture from the slideshow, but I don't. I don't know where it went. Oh, well. It disappeared into the ether. I wonder if we can put it back. Nope. All right, I'm just gonna put this up. We'll do this because I love this face. So there's a face on the screen. If you would like to copy this person, feel free. Or you can look at the pictures in the back. I seem to have lost the one I was trying to put up. Now, if you finish one drawing, I think you're going to have plenty of time today to do more than one. The more you draw, the easier it becomes and the more comfortable you will feel. So I was wrong. That in May are supposed to come in June.
Oh, really? It's the day that, is it there? Was it supposed to come?
You're so good.
No, I'm not so good.
That I'm not gonna, you can teach this class. I'm not gonna advise.
Thank you.
Same for you, Christy. Always better if you have something to do.
Yeah, Christy. Yeah, that's what I'm doing. I was just doing old.
Oh, sorry, this one has the Shutterstock thing across it, which, that's awful.
Yeah.
You want me to change the picture? Or is it okay? You could put the Shutterstock stamp on it, Ken. That would be a statement. All right, we're gonna stop the share on this. I'll be right there, Vrinda. That picture was not good.
Pictures on my phone that I can use.
Well, I have to put something up because there may be people on YouTube watching.
That's true. So you lost the photo you wanted?
Yeah, I dragged it
Do you
off.
know what it was called?
No, it just had a whole lot of numbers.
Oh,
It's
okay.
somewhere in the ether. I mean, I guess it could be in downloads, but I'm not going to worry about it now. I'll figure it out later.
Okay.
Portraits.
Were you looking at it before in any application?
It was in a slideshow, and I thought I
Because-
could just drag it off the slideshow,
Oh,
and it just disappeared from
can
the
you- can you
slideshow.
do it so it goes back in the slideshow?
It's too late, I
Too late,
think.
yeah.
Yeah. I'm not upset. I'm not worried. The blank slide can just be deleted and I can add something else later.
Okay.
Yeah.
Um, I'm not stressed. Look, I have a whole nother slideshow anyway, so this one's pretty. Nice dramatic shading. You want that one? You seem to be the only one interested in looking anyway, so you like everything. You're no help. All right, I'm gonna put this one up.
So are we supposed to just do the face, not the
Yeah,
body?
just focus on portrait, because that seems to have been his main focus in his work,
Okay.
his facial.
So I have some family photos from
Yeah.
decades ago.
I would prefer that you, if you can. Now, the problem with working from, and folks who are listening, working from your smartphone is difficult because the images are so tiny.
Mhm.
But if you can enlarge it, Ken, I would think that would be excellent for this project. Because you're trying to go for some kind of nostalgic, emotional.
Mhm.
Feel or evocative feeling. Right, so I am going to do a drawing. Anyone wants to watch? It's a very basic portrait. Most of you have seen me through this a lot, so you don't have to watch. You're already doing so well. One of the things that you need to start doing for yourself, and probably in your meditation, you need to stop focusing. Start learning. It's the hardest thing in life. You've chosen. Okay, you can do it. And Sally, if you want, you can. Even if you draw, the more room you have for error, the more room you have to mistake. Notice. So if you make a small mistake, portion, it will be improved. So when you improve, that's the way my new one. I'm resting on it. Oh, so you can dive. As we get the dive, while it's flat and straight. So what I learned is to make guidelines curve. Face. Oh. Middle line. That's like curve. Like this. hairline. Just kind of eyeball it. I'm not trying to be perfect. No, it's probably a don't make it dark, so I know I'm gonna have to erase. This is dark. This is for learning. Needs to be seen. Nose. Nose from halfway. Halfway between. And now.
Oh, you think so?
Not at the. No, gonna be approximately here. Haven't drawn the nose yet, so I can always change. And then the mouth, so halfway between the bottom and the top.
Yeah. You know.
Start. Just looking at this portion versus very. Notice where the brow starts. Close to the side of the head. You can even see it in the photograph. The brow is one of the close on the side. Do not intellectualize. You want to see how it looks. So in your mind, you know that because the head curves, the hairline is further away. But when you look straight ahead of the person, it's not so. Visually, it's not like. So brow is really close. Really good. And oh, if you want to put in here, yes. So here's the corridor. It's the brow, the top of the ear. Is where the brow is. Look. Look at me. My brow is. Look at me. Stop talking. Look at me. My brow is at the top of my ear. Or the middle. My line. Yeah. So these are guidelines, but they're not exact. All right. So the brow. Stress. There's. Well, it's everyone's like this, not just you. We have grown up in a culture where words and ideas. We've been trained to think in terms of words. And so there are always questions. And that's good. That's what we were taught in school to do. We got to be questions. Well, but did you go through specific training? Yes, that's right. It used to be believed because the brain is that you were trained to use the left side of the brain. Right. It was believed that the right brain was the stronger side. Because we're trained in sports, left side nerves that we lost the ability to vision. Part of that is true. The thing is, the question is thinking knowledge. We're not able to see. The alter I get them right. It's just the chore. So I'm thinking the shape of it. No. And I'm trying to recreate. And at this point, I'm not trying to make 100%. I'm just trying to get it there. This is my beginning sketch. Get in with that. I'll be right back. Always see this. No, I know that. This person. Very close to the bottom of the brow. It's almost touching. And it's quite dark. And from there, I look at the outer edge. In the first, the lashes grow. And the outer part of the lashes grow. In the more nice eye, lashes. The eyes make sense. The whole eye recess. That's why it's mentioned. The whites of the eye. This is kind of, there's kind of a champagne like. That's why I like it. Yeah, I like that.
I was going to go, but I'm not sure. That's what I said.
Corner of the eye straight.
Oh.
Guys, sorry, I'm gonna be around to you soon, okay? If you want, maybe you're happy. Not- This is such a nice class, but sometimes small classes. You get a lot. That's much more than that to indicate. No. This is something that beginning artists do. They get very obsessed.
Yeah.
Little bit of shit.
She didn't have a poster, somebody handed her something.
And some people should have better knowledge quality. So there might be here. So I would recommend you put a combination of
So there's to get a more of this.
and just this one. Or a little bit of shadow. So now, now Go back. Like, yeah, always on this, she was beautiful. Like, see,
Yeah. See what that means.
was transformed into a monk. And then she tries to say, "Oops, sorry, I made a mistake," but they won't let her go back.
That was so funny when Tony came out of her.
Was that funny?
That was.
Yeah.
That was my 5-year-old. That's like to be on.
I never watched the
It was
Academy
a
Awards.
family.
This year I watched.
Of course, I got you. How much did you put in? Sure.
Did want. What? No.
Now the only AI.
I don't know where they came from. They even gave me pictures. I did hear today. You're not getting my advice. Brenda, there's a book. You should read. It's exercises. Here's my staff. Oh, you want me to read? And I think the library. Also. All these people. This year I just do well. This year I some of the movies. And we have to deliver them to see what they're wearing. Okay.
That's what I heard. Yeah. You dated your best.
Oh, yeah. Oh, you made the letters white. I like it. Still.
When I tried to so bad at math, it was you. And you the senior, and I remember just something so you guys are fun math teachers. Would you know what's going on? I was like, yes. Oh, I'm so worried. It didn't happen. You heard he got rid of something. They're all impressed well, but there was one picture. Really? Billboard. That, well, they want everybody done.
He wants. Once you start emphasizing it, they start, the cartoon. Yeah, so you've done well, you've done. Just a hint.
Yeah, like mine, like mine.
Yeah, you know, just. What's it called?
Yeah, I'm gonna.
Because that also gives it a dead cartoon look, you know.
Yeah, I will be good. Yes. Well, she was ill.
Oh,
She
yeah?
was
Oh,
ill.
you-
Oh.
Oh.
David?
Oh,
Oh, I know what it is. No, they're actually larger than,
It's the rich.
yeah, you want to make them. As you see less of the white. That's. It's the no comment for who it's beautiful.
That's my father.
Oh,
They were the high. And it's in the died.
oh, yours is.
I don't know.
Specific years. They have Yeah.
As opposed to me. Oh, yeah, baby. Um, what time do we finish today? 3 o'clock. We got time. What's the color? The iris, right? So the iris. Much less. Yeah, the iris. And you want to color it in. But you don't know want to color. You don't feel the iris is colored dark. Look, like little eyes. Yeah, you have to color it in. One, a different one. Yeah. Sky. Limestone. It's your home. Jumping. Chainsaw.
I'm not surprised. It's an animal tranquilizer. No, but it's, I know that like every month goes under supervision. Depression. Severe depression. So- Yeah. Yeah, yeah. Party drop. At the rave party, at the rave, everybody does. What does he do with them? Oh, you know, I don't. Makes you happy. So you think he looks happy? He's a nut job.
No.
Oh, my friends. He's weird, they all have.
Kids.
Shows the whole medical history. All the medication he's taking. She's right, she's right. She's right though. It's a fast, it does a lot of drugs. The Adderall, they all have, you know, who takes Adderall. Oh, yeah. It's robotic. Yeah. He doesn't take. Oh, he takes it. Oh, no, he's been on drugs, yeah, for a long time. Yeah, melanoma. No, that's why he wears diapers. He has no control over his bladder. We didn't know that was. Like we would do a few. I mean, we know.
My finger on the pulse. I want to believe it.
Everybody tells
I want to believe it. I'm a fact-based person.
drugs are not new.
I don't know. He always talks about how his brother was an alcoholic.
He doesn't do alcohol. He doesn't drink. They're all bizarre.
We're in trouble.
And they're all bizarre.
Okay, now, this is very important. He has like blue eyes, but the iris is colored, not white. That color that is. No, that's the white of the eye. The iris is colored. That's happening.
That's what. That's what.
I like
Yes.
Yeah, one of mine. Oh my.
Oh, wow. Really good. How old is your dad?
By the way, self-promotion, I'm in a book show at Manic Contemporary, it goes till June 20th. And not just my work, but the work in the show is really quite wonderful. And it is displayed in such a beautiful way. So if you go for the duration of the show. What? Book art, handmade books by artists. Manic Contemporary, 888 Newark Avenue in Jersey City.
Yeah, some old,
It's a wonderful
my
library.
grandparents.
What floor is it on? Free part. It's on the first floor.
Oh, good.
You have to go in the front door, you keep walking to the end
Yeah,
of
my
the
uncle
building.
did that.
This one, this.
I know the gallery, when it's actually opening, when the gallery space is open, I'm not quite sure. Sometimes on the weekends, it's not. I don't know, look at the website. Manic Contemporary. Actually very nice shade.
Yeah, she does like that way, of course.
Love her. The only suggestion I have is maybe a little on top of it. Got a wow. Oh my goodness, E has been trying to get in. Oh, okay. Hi, E. Welcome. We're doing portraits today. How are you? Can you hear me, E? Welcome to our class. We're doing portraits. You can copy the picture on the screen if you like. We're focusing on family portraits, so you can find a family photo. And I did review how to draw a portrait, but you have seen me do that before. And we're only working in pencil today. So have fun. And I'm glad you made it. Oh, here is the hard copy. Yes. When
that it with or without the work?
No, I think the one.
Yeah.
Where we're at right now. Oh, yeah.
What?
That's a different. I want to go to.
Yeah, pretty cool. I went to play with it.
It works quite a bit like. Thanks. See you next week. I don't know. This Yes, a little bit of line, so you have to. I will call in. It's not quite that dark. Back on this side, she has no line. So I would just blend, take the finger and rub it away. Now. So good. Okay. Yeah. So little, okay, what do you think?
That was, I was But it's still a total shots. That's a good. Yes.
I think that like maybe like grand overall versus like the regular. No, they're all like the same. The lighting's all adjusted.
We want the best. It's like what.
Look at the diagram, don't.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, since. She's probably not. No, that's a lot of work. No. Plus, yes. Yeah, of course. She's 75 and stuff. She's gonna come on, yes, you can.
Yeah, that's true. Sally, not only did she look at your work, she photographs.
Yes, you can.
And or takes.
She asked though.
The first thing is over here. Wait for the picture. Was, so.
I never had questions.
But first you have to start at the job, so you come in and say, yes.
Yeah. I'm so bored on Tuesday.
Thank you very much.
It's called Crackle. Yeah. It's a little, that was very, and
Remember?
same back in like 2009. Yeah. Crackle. And I think it's actually coming back. Has it? I do that because I'm so bad at doing my own meditation. Let me put the Crackle on the thing for the back. I'm pretty good at doing it, you know. I have a fun. I had a fun one. I need to buy something else. Oh, okay. Yeah, I buy it. I don't usually do that. My nails are.
I think it's good.
Fresh. Yes, it's also. It's really thick. So.
Yes. He's at it. On side trails. Really upset. It's easy to affect. Lindsay, I'm gonna send an email out. New Jersey Department of Environmental Protection has given said road sewage commission the green light to go for
Oh, you're kidding.
No, my father, 1955, yeah. Wow. So, it's ever-
Right?
Thanks. Right, I guess it's time to clean up.
You?
Yeah, my father.
Are you okay?
He had that strong bone structure, the bone, bone strong, not so much. Like the light bones from my mom's side.
Which is going to. My mother always said I was big boned. I never know what that meant. All right, folks. E, how are you doing? We have to start cleaning up here. Oh, yay.
That's good. Maybe 3 years ago. I haven't done it in a long time, in decades.
What?
Just one. Go ahead.
Or more like.
The outline. You're welcome, thank you.
E, do you want to share with me what you've made?
First, come. You come.
Well, wait, Sally. Sally is now the teacher. Professor Sally, we have to wait a minute for the person online.
Always your assistant.
Sally is always my assistant. Thank you, Sally. E, I don't even know if you can hear me. All right, anyone here want to share what you have created? I'm going to stop the share of this picture. We do have a few minutes to share. Ken, did you want to share what you've made? Those of you who are in-house, if we could stop chatting for a moment and look at the big screen. Ken is going to share and
Okay,
I'm going to get out of the way.
okay.
See too.
This is my father when he was in his early 20s. So I did have a drawing class in college, but I never really learned to draw faces well because I have bad eyesight. So I always, draw the whole figure, and I just kind of like indicate the features with a dot or something. But this is a little bit easier because I work my photo on my phone, so it's closer to my eyes. Otherwise, I couldn't do it from real life. I'm not real, I don't really know proper technique or anything. I'm just kind of like, scribbling lines somewhat randomly. Like I'm not trying to draw like exactly what I see in the photo. I see like, okay, there's a darker area here. So I'm just gonna scribble some random strokes in that area and build it up until it kind of resembles the photo, but not exactly. So that's how I kind of do it. I just don't have the patience to do like really, detailed copies the way I've seen other people do it. So,
Well, I
Thank
think you
you.
did extremely well. Everybody notices use of shading. That's what really makes words.
Yeah, and this is not something I don't do this all the time. It's been like decades since I than in college. But if you take a really challenging course, it really sinks in and kind of stays
Don't
with you.
forget.
Yeah.
It's like learning how to drive.
So my drawing instructor in college, he made us draw without looking at it.
Yeah.
It was really hard for like the first month or so. You could have like random scribbles. Then after a while, it got better. And then once we got used to it, we were allowed to look down every once in a while.
Yes, we call that blind contour.
Yeah.
We have done that in this play.
Yeah, I didn't know how to
First me
name.
out when I asked him to do it. Yes, sir. Chrissy, would you like to share? And thank you, Ken.
You're welcome. I mean, it was so hard. I was so depressed at first. I didn't think I could do it.
In your formal course, not
In
Not
college,
today.
yeah, when he made us draw without looking. I was such a lucky boy.
Chrissy. Beautiful. You do this face often. Is she someone
Somebody know who's?
who lives with you, like emotionally lives with you in mind, Chrissy?
No.
No, like an imaginary friend.
Light hair is not.
It's nice how all the curves work together. The eyebrows, the hair,
Well,
the
yeah,
shape
well,
of the face, and the eyes.
Thank you. The curves, all the
Yeah,
curves.
Well, it's
they
nice.
all, they all strengthen each
Yes. Tuesday. Or share.
Next time.
Right, Susan.
Unfinished. When I go home, I'm gonna use all my different pencils for the shading.
Yeah, I would do more to emphasize her beautiful.
Oh, absolutely. Yes, she needs more shading, definitely. She's a beautiful woman.
Her eyes are so spectacular. Mouth is a little bit flawed.
Yeah, I'm not finished yet. I'm gonna do all my different pencils from home, so.
Well, you really caught that expression.
Oh, thank
She
you.
really coming to life.
Yes, thank you. Usually I find faces difficult to draw, but having fun with this.
You know what, if you pick a great picture, I think that really helps.
Yes, yeah, and she's more exotic. I never pick people that look like me, so.
You're exotic in your own way.
Oh, yes, you go exotic.
What's next? You're not gonna shave.
Oh, so exotic. Like raisins.
Professor Sal.
This is yours.
Yeah, you can go to a professor.
Guys, look at the screen, Seth.
Oh.
Professor Sal. Okay, that's
Oh,
cool.
beautiful.
I really try to focus on the proportions of the face, but I don't
Yeah,
know
you're
to
doing great.
I don't know to do the shading though.
It's not finished, though. Or is it?
I can work on it a little bit more. And let me show you the
Oh.
gorgeous original picture.
That was, I broke the worst teaching rule ever. It's up to you if it's finished. Isn't it?
For me, it's finished.
I said, oh.
I didn't know to
For
do,
you, it's finished.
yeah, I didn't know to do this gorgeous hair, the braids, so I did the easy one.
Very nice. It's very nice.
Yes.
I do have a suggestion, and it's the same one I have for Susan. You've made the eyes so magnificent. I would do a little more with her lips. And often you don't notice that until you're sitting and standing up far away from the image. And maybe because you're up so close to the picture, you're missing that. Because you're close and you don't see that you kind of lose the lips when you see it from a small distance.
Professor Sal, you finished?
This is Sally, where are you going?
We're waiting for you.
Oh, okay.
Bye.
That'll allow you to do
We
that.
say bye.
Bye. She often sneaks out. You're not gonna show. Maybe she should. She said, Brenda is sharing her drawing this way, so folks here, you get to see what she did. Well done. This is her first portrait. Check it out.
Wow. Wow.
Bravo. Right, we must clean up now, folks.
That was fun.
I'm
Liz.
really impressed. This is
That's
such a
fun.
nice class.
Yeah, it was fun.
Sometimes a small intimate group can be the best.
And I'm actually feeling something like that.
And Susan is
See,
here.
I have my
first.
pajamas in my living room.
All right, so next week we will continue our work on women visual artists. And we will just keep celebrating art. Thank you for coming, and I hope to see you all soon. Oh, here's from E. Oh, we're so glad to have shared with you. You don't want to share your work? Or you didn't get a chance to do anything? You're just watching today. Okay. Well, we're delighted that you were back. It's been a while, and I hope you come next week, E. Take care, everyone, and see you soon. Happy Women's History Month. Take care. Bye-bye. Art on.